Let's hear it, Tampa Bay.
The hottest city in America. It makes you absolutely world class.
A national map of sustainable communities.
It all starts in Tampa.
This is the stuff that makes Tampa the place you want to live.
For the win.
I know what you're thinking. Are they twins? Yes, we are, and today we're going to talk about becoming a business champion, but we're going to do it in a way all of us can do it here today without any other thing except a brain. This is Zach, and I'm Austin. So the Human Genome Project was done in the 80s, and initially they thought there could be upwards of 300,000 genes in the human body, but what they found out was there was only 25,000. There were 300,000 switches, as opposed to a dog that has 29,000 genes. So what's adaptive capacity? When we're born, we're very adaptive. How do we turn these switches on and off so we can become adaptive to the things around us? How can we leverage these switches so we can be better people? This isn't something that's done in a lab. It's not something that's done by a doctor or a therapist or a business coach. It's not something you learn online or read about or watch videos about. This is something that you just think about, and it's all done personally. It's also not done through computers. It's done through your brain. A computer is just something we've created to simulate a brain. Einstein once said that he thought that children should be read fairy tales in their early adolescence because it helps with the brain development process. That's all creative thinking. Creative thinking leverages the right brain. So how do we leverage our left brain? And what happens? Well, what did you all have to eat today? That's activating your left brain. That's putting you into what's called sympathetic stress. Now the right brain is activated through creative. The left is biased. So the left is accessing your memory bank, stuff that you've stored. When you start thinking about stuff like, what am I going to have for breakfast tomorrow? That's creative. That puts you into parasympathetic function, which opens up your cells and you're healthier and it helps with your immune system. We could do this through many different methods. Think about the future. Get creative. If we think about how the things we did in the past affect our lives, we're accessing our left brain. So with general productivity, a lot of it is just about a mindset. I saw a slide earlier. 80% of success is just showing up. Well, it's all about a mindset. You have to be positive when you come to work. You have to be creative. You have to think about things that are going to impact the people that you're providing products for. It's not all about you. And this mindset, if we're productive during the day by thinking creatively, we're right brain centric, our cells are open, we're open to new information, we're not biased. This type of thinking really perpetuates us. It lifts us to new heights, it lifts us to new things that we can do. We don't want to break what's called the mind-body connection. If you've ever seen a muscle test is merely when they test weak, it's because their mind and their body are no longer connected. It's a symptom of sympathetic stress. So to reach peak performance, you really have to get into the right mindset. It's all about the mindset. We think about how this affects sports athletes. You've got all these athletes, they all have similar skills. They can all run and jump and shoot, but what separates the leaders and the successful ones from the losers, the ones that don't win all the time, and it's all down to mindset. We're here, we have a private equity firm. We've been successful at a young age and it's given us some great opportunities. But I think we can attribute a lot of this to just plain creative thinking, always being visionaries. Steve Jobs said, think different. If you look at him as a leader, as a visionary, he was brutal on his people, but they always wanted to come back to work for him. The reason why? The answer is simple. I read an article in Wired published today. It was an interview with Ray Kurzweil. He just took over at Google as the head of their new AI brain division. They're basically building semantic search at a next level with artificial intelligence and machine learning and all that fun stuff. But what Ray was talking about was how the brain functions and capacity. And what's important to realize is that we all have the same capacity in our brain. Einstein wasn't necessarily smarter according to Ray. He just applied himself into deep thought into a specific subject matter area. And this is defined by science, the neocortex and the 300 million pattern recognizers in the hierarchical structure. We build this hierarchical structure ourselves by thought processes and learning.
Give it up for everyone that's been here. It feels like we're following Tony Robbins.